Okay. Sige. Good evening sa inyong lahat. Thank you for being here. Sige. So today, I imagine this to be a relatively shorter discussion. Actually, a lot of the work will be dependent on you tonight. Okay? Kasi I think, our three readings are kind of straightforward and I don't know if you noticed, but they sort of give us a good summary of what we've discussed so far. So parang okay siya to wrap up our sessions. And then meron silang mga tidbits na binibigay. Yun yung gagamitin nating tungtungan para sa pair discussion na gagawin ninyo tonight. Okay, sige. Let's proceed. Okay, so what do we know so far? So let me just walk you through, since this is our final parang discussion, no, for the entire class. Akalaan nyo yun, we made it. I will sort of, yes. So thank you, Mika. I will walk you through hopefully what we know now, no, after almost 13 weeks of being together. Okay. Una, just to emphasize, ano yung definition ng social class? No? So at the very least, pag umalis kayo dito sa klase natin, you will have this, no, na pwede nyong baunin. Hindi ko pa na-check yung inyong mga critical essays, but this was actually a question that ito yung implicit na tinatanong sa inyo dun sa isang item, whether social class is internal, external, or both. No? At least in this case, no, yung definition ng social class na pinresent dun sa reading natin, and I think which is a good way to kind of easily capture, no, what it means is that it's a position. Kaya nga yung operationalization niya ay perception mo of your ranking, di ba, in the ladder. So it's a position in the economic hierarchy in society that arises from a combination of social and economic resources and social rankings. Okay? So I think itong definition na to nicely captures yung sources of your perception of your position. So it can come from your income, no, your networks, which represent both social and economic capital or resources. No? At yung education and prestige sort of give us an idea, it sort of index itong social rankings na binabanggit. Okay? Of course, this doesn't capture the more mutually constitutive component of social class, no, which is actually that social class is a context or an immersive cultural environment. So wala siya dito sa definition na to. But I think this is a good working definition for us. Okay. What else do we know so far? Yung social class, I don't know if you still remember, no, during our initial discussions, we conceptualized this as a bundle of sticks. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin niya? Hindi monolithic yung social class, no? That it's better to think of it as components, no, na marami siyang components. At yung components na yun, yung sinubukan nating aralin in the course of this class. So we talked about ranking, we talked about culture, we talked about signals, no? We talked about construals or types of self. Kung naalala nyo pa yung article ni Nicole Stephens. No? Hindi natin masyadong naaral yung mas economic or more sociological components of social class, no? Like neighborhoods, and income and occupation. But this is, I think, a good way to analyze, no, or partition the concept of social class para mas madali siyang aralin, mas manageable siya aralin. We also, hopefully by this time, we also realize that because this is psychology, social psychology, importante yung pag-aaral ng social class as an experience, no? And as an experience, it can be construed as yung freedom or constraint in accessing valued resources. At yung article nila, Krauss and Park, sort of touches on this component of freedom and constraint. No? Okay? So before we proceed, si Nick was nice enough to do a little, a little exercise on his own at nilaro niya yung World Values Survey, and he came up with some visuals, that we can sort of unpack or talk about, no, tonight. So, Nick, are you there?
Hi, sir. I'm
Hi,
here.
Nick. Okay. So, sige. So, again, no, so tama ba ako, Nick? This is from the 2019 data
Yes,
set?
sir.
Okay, yeah. So, just
Yes.
a quick caveat na before I turn you over to Nick. So, Nick will just briefly discuss what's going on here. And then maybe if you have some thoughts, no, you can share it also in via chat, or you can, unmute yourself. So, ano yung mga impressions niyo dito sa graph that you see, okay? So, a little caveat na um, yung World Value Survey was not intended to measure social class experiences. No? So
Yes, sir.
so in that regard, hindi balanced yung responses ng mga participants in terms of, I think Nick can talk about this, in terms of ilan yung upper class, lower class, middle class, and also sa mga responses such as this, no, hindi ko alam kung nag-210 na kayo or at least 207, na napaka-importante na maganda yung spread ng scores para mas maganda yung analysis na pwede mong magawa. Kasi kung bunched up siya sa isang particular response item, hindi masyadong maganda yung analysis na pwede mong magawa. So, with that, Nick, can you tell us briefly about what's going on here?
Hi. So, wala lang actually. Since gusto ko rin makakita sa like quick lang na data visualization, since para may preliminary feel lang ako, and I guess like since sinashare ko na rin kayo sa actual data, and since available din naman kasi yung data nandiyan lang, so why not, right? So yung yung sinasabi ni Sir to na caveat, napansin ko kasi like yung number, yung sample size mismo sa upper class, sobrang onte. Like sa Philippines, I think mga less than 50. By the way, yung like for every country, there are like around 1,200 responses. And then I think yung pagka-measure ng social class, I think mga yung in terms of like social class categories, like dalawa, tatlo, parang subdivided siya into lower class, lower middle class, upper middle class, and upper class. So yung ginawa ko actually for this one is the upper middle class. I kind of placed it as upper class. So just in case like if i-explain ko na rin kung bakit ganating nangyari, may context na yung upper middle class, dinay ko siya to upper class. So well, mostly yung mga related sa readings like policy preferences, yung nakuha ko sa readings at least, siguro like ideologies or ideas related to equality and beliefs of what makes a good society. Well, yun yung nakuha ko sa readings. Yung mga chinek ko sa data. So, yung sa yung dito is like, if you had, yung question sa survey was, if you had to choose between freedom and equality, which one would you consider more important? So, yung sa Philippines lang na chinek ko, parang in terms of, I guess like yung sa arguments nung sa reading, na parang medyo in-expect ko na may clear differences between the classes na well, yung expectation ko was that yung sa lower class would I guess mas maraming respondents would answer equality, and then sa upper class mas marami magre-respond respond na they would consider freedom more important. With I guess kaya nilagay ko rin yung other countries, yung Germany, Japan, United States, is like yung sa Germany, I guess, and sa United States, medyo nakikita din na may differences or yung what kind of like I expected based on the reading. Na meron yung like sa Germany, medyo clear, I think, yung sa lower class, middle class, and upper class. Pero sa Philippines, yung sa atin, parang parang sa ayun, I think pag medyo malaki, yung lower class and the upper class around the same. This is like in the proportion of respondents who answered na equality or freedom for each classes. And then the middle class mas onting mataas. Tapos so yung inisip ko rin is since merong I guess like cross-cultural comparison na baka syempre I don't wanna like just set aside yung expectation na ay mali pala. Baka there are possibly other factors or maybe like moderators kung bakit siguro ganyan yung, well, this is just descriptive statistics, guys. So parang walang inferential statistics. So medyo I was eyeballing lang, I guess, like what we are all doing now. So yung factor na yon, siguro hindi ko rin alam like what siguro moderates right now kung bakit what we see sa data ng sa Philippines is like that. So ayun yung for the freedom or equality question.
Sige, Nick, I'll let you, Mami, I'll turn it over again to you dun sa next part. So, ito
sige,
yung ipakita. Okay naman. Sige. Thank you, Nick.
Alright.
Sige.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry, Nick, sorry. Quick question. This is the self-identification item sa social class, diba? You identify, parang
yes.
Social class to identify yourself. Parang ganun yung item. Am I right?
Would you consider yourself lower class, middle class, or upper middle class, or upper class?
Okay. So, thank you. So, dun sa self-identification item, yan. So, yun yung ginamit ni Nick to divide the participants. And then, yung interesting for me here, kasi I was going to say baka meron siyang West Asian differences. Kasi may kita talaga natin sa US yung very individualistic goals, di ba? Napaka-importante ng freedom sa kanila. As you can see here. Sa Germany, to a certain extent, yes. Kaya lang sa Japan, parang ganun din, di ba? So, kasi you'd think baka iba yung patterns for more Asian, more collectivist societies, which I think we see here in the Philippines. No, yun na yung freedom, parang sanay tayo maalipin or na iba yung idea siguro natin of freedom. But yeah, here we see that parang yung middle class pa nga yung mas nag-endorse highly no, ng equality compared to other social class groups. Okay. So I don't know if you have any impressions or anything you'd like to say about this. No, you can share it on the chat box. Pero kung wala naman, I can just move on and pwede na lang natin balikan later. So I just thought it would be interesting kasi I think nabanggit ko to sa inyo last meeting na yung psychological experience of social class is often described as, freedom and constraints, but hindi siya masyado nagre-reflect dun sa mga measures na ginagamit. No? Dito you'd think na if you're upper class, then you have more freedom. So magandang tignan dun whether you'd endorse it more or you'd endorse equality more, no? And halimbawa, sa lower class, na apparently dapat mas maraming constraint experiences or experiences that are constrained, you'd think na baka mas mataas yung freedom endorsement nila. Pero parang hindi ganun yung nakikita natin dito. Okay, I will proceed. Sorry, what is this? Okay, yes. Okay. So just feel free to, kung may maisip lang kayo along the way, no, just unmute or write in the chat box. Okay. So what else do we know? We also talked about the differences between upper class and lower class individuals. But what I think what's important here to emphasize is that the differences are systematic, meaning they are not random. No? So kaya, kasi kung isipin mo, yung pagkakaiba ba na yun, can we say that the upper class are really different from the lower class, or baka nagkataon lang na in that variable, no? Kunwari sa empathy, for instance, or sa pro-social behavior, baka nagkataon lang na magkaiba, no? Pero nakita natin na systematic yung differences. So ang isang implication yan na merong underlying cause or underlying variable factor that explains the differences between the two. No? At yung isang underlying explanation nga would probably be yung social class context, no, or yung perceptions of rank. At least yun yung mga hypothesis nila. Okay. So before I proceed, si Adi wrote something here sa chat. Sabi niya, we can also take into consideration yung type of government ng countries aside from culture. So ito yung binabanggit ni Nick kanina na baka may mga moderating factors, meaning factors that shift responses. No? So baka pag more democratic, ganun ba yung sinasabi ni Adi? Pag more democratic siguro, baka iba yung valuation sa freedom and equality, and maybe the type of society. If your society is a little bit more welfare, ibig sabihin the government kind of provides for the basic needs, baka iba rin yung valuation mo ng freedom and equality. Okay, so going back, so nakita natin may mga differences at nabanggit nga din ni Nick kanina. So Nick, I will show the visuals na that you presented. So nabanggit ni Bollock dun sa isang article natin that yung higher social class, they tend to become, they tend to endorse more conservative economic attitudes. They tend to participate more politically and they tend to have more power. So may ganong disparities dito sa particular aspects na to na binanggit ni Bollock. Which for me is interesting because often when we talk about social class, the emphasis is on poverty and on reduction of poverty, di ba? So kaya yung maganda yung reframing at hopefully yun yung nakuha natin, na-catch natin sa klase natin na when we talk about inequality, we have to talk about yung power dynamics ng mga tao at nabagamat importante yung pag-aaral ng lower class and how we can sort of address their immediate needs. It's very important to also look into the experiences of upper class individuals, and how we can disrupt yung power dynamics between upper class and lower class individuals. Okay. So I guess just to ibinabagkanin ni kanina para to illustrate itong ganitong di umano na endorsement ng attitudes ng higher social class. So si Nick played with the data set ng WVS at ito yung mga ilan sa nakita niya. Okay, Nick.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, biglang bumagal yung internet.
Ay, no problem.
So, okay. Ito pala yung, meritocratic beliefs sa Philippines. So, actually related din siya-ish sa reading. So yung, just to remind you, yung parang meritocracy kind of explains na parang success is based siguro on ability rather than due to someone's luck or yung they were born in a wealthy environment. So actually in-expect ko rin na yung mga hypothesis din na nababasa na there will be clear differences in terms of social class. So siguro like additional caveat then kasi for the meritocratic beliefs. So for one, if the respondents like answered around like mas mababa, in general they mean na parang hard work doesn't generally bring success. So it's more of a matter of luck and connections. So I guess that means na less meritocratic beliefs. And then pag if they score like around 10-ish or higher, parang in the long run, hard work usually brings a better life. So ayun, yung mga classes, parang wala rin masyadong differences. I mean, to be honest too, parang hindi ko rin nakuha yung actual statistics. Talagang sorry guys, kasi very quick visualization lang talagang ginawa ko before class. So, ayun, like medyo hindi rin clear yung differences between classes. And sorry, yung caveat pala is that I think kasi with continuously ito pag 1 to 10, hindi rin siguro magiging very distinct in terms of differences. Like aside compared to siguro like if there was a measure na 1 to 100. So parang hindi, onti lang din yung range. Kaya that might partially be the reason na hindi rin nakikita agad yung differences. So yung actually yung nakita ko tong result na to, ayun, yung visualization na to, parang I kind of also like immediately checked then with the other countries. And actually, medyo same siya with the other visualization. Sorry, am I on my with the other visualization na in countries like in Germany, I think, and sa US, mas clear yung differences. And in general, mas mababa yung meritocratic beliefs in Germany. And wait, if I recall correctly, almost ba yung sa other countries? Ayun. And sa United States, sa America, mataas. So actually, medyo unexpected based on my own, like, I guess, conceptions of these countries. So, well, actually, medyo yun din yung naisip ko with the other visualization na baka may other factors din na katulad din sabi ni Adi na yung government din ng countries and yung culture and the like, I guess, kung ano yung status ko, ano yung main ideology na prevail are also part of the reason why hindi lang, meritocratic beliefs and social class yung relationship yung nakikita dito. Sabi ni Veli, or pwede rin because isa sa values natin ang hard work, kaya they prize hard work sa lahat ng social classes. Yes, that could be.
Sure, oo. Although, thank you for that. Thank you, Nick. Nick, just to be clear, sorry, do you see the cross-country differences here? Yeah, on your screen. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tama, Nick, no? Itong bars na to, itong horizontal bars are itong mean for...
Those are the median, sir.
Median. Okay.
Median.
So, itong naka-represent ay means.
Yeah, and then I think...
Okay.
Naalala ko yung interquartile range ko. Yung boxes are kind of like the 50% of the respondents who answered there. And then I guess yung lines is that, so in general, I think parang some respondents in the Philippines, meron nga nag-answer like lower than 10 until I guess like 1 since yung line shows na until there.
Okay. Thank you, Nick. Actually, yung isang way din to represent yung ganitong Likert scale ay to divide the dataset into 1 to 5 tapos 6 to 10. Tapos bibilangin lang natin ilan yung sumagot ng 1 to 5. Tapos ilan yung sumagot ng 6 to 10. And that would sort of give us an idea kung sino yung parang high and low endorsement of meritocracy. Isa rin yun sa paraan. Tapos titignan mo siya per lower, middle, or upper class. Okay. So, I guess what we see here is that so yung nabanggit nga ni Veli na baka priced kasi yung hard work, no? Pero I do agree, and so that also gives us an idea nung role ng system justifying ideologies. Kasi kung mataas yung endorsement natin in general dito, so alam naman natin na mataas yung correlation halimbawa ng meritocracy sa redistributive lower endorsement of redistributive policies, etc. So this sort of tells us that may even poor individuals, they endorse the role of hard work more than what's going on around us, and that has itong ganitong results might have huge implications with the way we see mobility, with our preferences for particular affirmative policies, and even the maintenance of inequality. Okay. So si Adi sabi niya, I thought we tend to believe more in external locus of control. Akala ko rin. Although, yun nga parang mahirap again to make conclusions with this data set kasi hindi talaga siya meant for that kind of study. But at least it gives us an idea. Parang meron tayong something to think about, no? Okay, so there's that. And then here's another one. Sige, Nick. So ito naman, interest in politics. Kasi may kinalaman to sa sabi ni Bolak, di ba, na higher class individuals participate more. Yeah, okay.
So, if I remember din sa reading, parang yung policy preference din yung lower class, siguro hindi din siya I guess na ma-manifest kasi it may be na parang less engaged with politics was yun nakalagay. So medyo chinek ko rin yung interest. How interested are you in politics? And as you can see, medyo yung proportion of respondents hindi din masyadong nagkakaiba between classes. So ayan pala nakalagay din yung sample size between classes. Yung upper class, that's upper class with the upper middle class. So yung there is, well, if you can see, medyo nga may slight, yung mas malaking light yellow box means na mas, I guess, slightly maraming mas interested in politics na nakikita sa upper class. So ayan, dun yung Filipino sample. And I think Ay, sir, nandito rin ba yung yung sa other countries?
I'll just show it.
Okay, sige, sir.
Wait lang. Sige. So, ito for me, interesting to kasi parang wala rin masyadong nangyayari. Wait lang. It's interest in politics, right? Okay. Ito pala, this is the one that I should have copied. Okay, wait. Here we go. This one.
Yeah, ayun. Actually, for some reason, medyo natuwa ako sa Germany kasi kung ano man yung mga arguments na nababasa ko sa readings, mas nakikita siya sa Germany compared to the other countries. So, I think medyo nakikita din na talagang medyo distinct talaga yung differences between the lower class, middle class, and upper class. Maybe as well into the other countries. And if mapapansin nyo guys na parang may ganong pattern when I did like the cross-cultural or like cross-country pala comparisons na medyo mas hindi obvious yung difference if you look at our country pero pag sa iba, in comparison to the countries na nakalagay dito, na mas nakikita siya. So baka nga there is that variable na I'm not sure, yun nga, yung mga sinasuggest niyo guys, baka pwede niyong i-find out. Joke.
Yeah, actually very important yun kasi dalawa yung insights dito. Pragmatically, yung WVS, hindi siya masyadong maganda na data set for for social class studies, at least yung ito. Kasi kita nyo wala masyadong ganap, diba? So mas may kita mo siya kung ang gagawin mo, you will compare it across countries. No? And then pangalawa, kung sakali man no, na these results hold, meaning ganito talaga yung pattern sa Philippines, this is exciting because we can look into what is going on here, right? What is going on here? Anong nangyayari sa Philippine context na iba yung trend sa atin kumpara sa iba. So merong some variable at work here that we might need to look into. Okay. Ano yung language ng questionnaire? It's in Filipino. Di ba, Nick? May sariling questionnaire yung Philippines eh.
Yes, sir. Type ko sana yung response ko. Pwede pala ako mag-voice. In Filipino yung questionnaire. And I think, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think, sir, hindi ko matandaan, pero there are actually like sa ibang provinces hindi lang I think in Tagalog, pero kunwari like in some other places, Cebuano nilagay noon. So, na-translate naman siya to the other places. And then in sampling, well, I think yung sa sampling, since this is ngayon sa, I'm not sure in terms of social class kasi, sir, usually like in bigger samples, parang may stratified sampling na parang they try to be, I think, representative of the population. Yun nga lang with social class. And parang onti lang talaga yung sumagot na upper class. And sorry, is that the that question you were asking, the sampling in terms of social class?
Ano siya? Basta representative. Sorry, Adi, go.
Sige po, sagutin ko lang po si Nick.
Yes,
hindi kasi parang iniisip ko kung anong klase ng mga tao yung na-access nila. Ito ba yung mga may access online? Ito ba yung mga urban people? Ito ba yung mga nasa pinaka-rural na areas? Kasi feeling ko iba yung mga interest nila sa politika. Kasi if you would imagine yung mga nasa baryo-baryo, iba yung politika doon eh. Parang ganun. Iba yung kanilang mga interest sa politics. So, parang iniisip ko paano nila in-access. Tapos paano nila ayun, ano yung characteristics nito, yung educational attainment nila, yung kanilang, other factors na maaring maka-impluwensya dun sa paano nila naiintindihan yung tanong.
Yeah. That's a very good point. So, Anime, thank you so much for posting.
Yeah, yun ang nalagay ni Anime.
Yeah.
Actually, I think yun yung yung sa stratified sampling na I think medyo binigyan pansin din yung urban-rural. And I think in terms of that, sir, please correct me kung mali ako. na yun yung reason kaya I think may weighted sample that they give different weight. So I think pag iba yung so I guess like they sample people from I guess like different municipalities or cities in the Philippines, and then I guess like in terms of the population, they kind of multiply it with the weight para mas representative sa at least as close as sa tunay na population sa Philippines. So that's how it was sampled. So parang merong, I guess, sir, like representativeness in mind in these kinds of surveys. And I think sa gender din, parang halos equal din. Parang 50-50 ata yung sa male-female yung nakita ko sa Yun nga lang, like Sir Ton said, parang hindi rin kasi masyadong, it is a survey with 200 variables. Kaya masaya siyang paglaruan kasi if you're interested in different, I guess like topics, usually I feel like pag social psychology, mahanap mo siya sa survey na to. Pero yun nga, like in terms of social class, parang magkakaiba din yung yung sizes ng samples between social classes. So that is one limitation then of trying to do like visualizations of this kind. But I tried my best na parang since konti lang talagang upper class, na baka the upper middle class might be close enough to the experiences of the upper class at the very least to make it like, ayun, N is 257 kasi onti lang talaga yung umamin talaga na upper class sila.
Tapos, Nick, yung interesting kasi sa WVS, walang item on actual income eh.
Yes, walang...
Hindi talaga
wala.
Dun eh.
Subjective.
Subjective self-identification, yung scale. Tapos yun nga, ang nagko-conduct ng World Value Survey in the Philippines ay SWS. So, they really shoot for a nationally representative sample. Pero yun nga, naka-stratify siya according to gender, age group, saka yung urban-rural. So, dun nila nira-randomize yung sampling. Okay. Sige, I think we have one more. Yeah, I think we have two more. So this one, Nick, what's this?
Ay, sige sir. Ito, sorry, hindi ko nalagay ng title in this one. Pero ito yung question na to is like, yung, I guess, preference of whether in terms of like ownership to business and industry, would you prefer it to be more on private ownership or like more onto government ownership? So, siguro kung iisipin na medyo, I guess related siya sa, I guess like socialist policies na parang if higher sa 10, so government ownership, I suppose, I guess like most socialist preferences in terms of business and industry side, I think if I remember correctly, yung expectation ko for this one is that mas mataas for the lower class and mas mababa for the lower class. So they prefer na more private ownership kasi inisip ko in terms of like, I guess self-interest then. So for this one, medyo may mahitang differences din. Pero since malaki din yung boxes, parang hard to make conclusions din. So yung median for the lower class is actually lower, and then for yung middle class and the upper class, mas mataas siya sa lower class. So parang medyo different from sort of what I expected. And then nisip ko tuloy parang, system justifying views. Pag hindi na nag-meet sa expectation, din ang system justifying.
True, doon lang tayo mabagsak. Pero interesting na yung upper class.
Pero yun nga, I think pag higher nga yung
Nick, sorry. Nawala ba ako?
Ay, sir.
Okay,
no, sorry, sir. Nakasabi lang mo I have unstable internet.
Okay. Sige.
Sir, sorry, hindi ko narinig yung...
No, it's okay.
Did you ask a question?
No, I didn't ask a question. So, ayun lang. I think although parang yung range ng responses ay medyo di naman masyadong magkakalayo. Pero dito makita natin, at least parang mean-wise, mas mababa yung, mas preferred ng upper class yung private ownership because they own the businesses. So they don't want government intervention. Okay. And then finally, we have this. Okay. Satisfaction in political system.
Ayan, sorry. Wala, hindi na nalagyan. How satisfied are you with your current political system? So 10 would be satisfied. Completely satisfied, and then pag mas mababa, hindi ko masyadong satisfied. So mas inisip ko for this one in terms of current like status quo then na that the upper class would, kasi they kind of live in a very comfortable situation that they'd be okay with that, the status quo. So, inisip ko na, and medyo mataas yung median. Although, yung boxes medyo malaki pa rin, so medyo may variability pa rin. Pero, ayun, medyo, like in terms of, like, if we look at the median and the general, yung ipakita dito is that they are more, parang they tend to say non-satisfied nga sila with the current political system. And this is a 2019 World Value Survey. So, isipin nyo lang siguro yung during yung 2019 kung ano yung political or current situation natin during 2019. 2019. I think December-ish. So, parang medyo, almost a year ago.
Right. Oh my God, can you believe
this
that?
I would say, it would be the Duterte administration. Yeah. And lower class and the middle class then are less satisfied if you compare them to the upper class.
Right. Which is a little bit scary, no? Kasi if you're satisfied, tas upper class ka, and you have yung assumption nga, you have more political leverage and all that. So there's little impetus to change. Although again, yun nga medyo malawak yung scores for each. But anyway, so this is just a cute little visualization. Thank you so much, Nick, for this. No, and it sort of gives us an idea. Again, not the perfect picture, but it gives us an idea of what's going on in terms of class differences. Kasi yan yung paulit-ulit na ini-emphasize sa klase na may pagkakaiba. But as it turns out, it's not, at least for this data set, it's not as different as we'd like to believe. At least dun sa mga bagay that matter. Okay, so thank you, Nick, for that. So again, if you have questions or insights, just feel free to share. Okay, so we also talked about responses to interclass relations. Okay, and the general picture that we provided is that, you know, yung social class signaling, they can reinforce class differences and trigger stereotyping, and therefore can lead to interclass conflict. No, yung isang reading natin, we talked about deployment of cultural resources to minimize conflict. No? And then we ended last meeting with how interclass relations may lead to the maintenance of upper class privilege. And then, so I think we'll focus on this one tonight. The idea that these are some of the factors that affect. Sorry, may question si Adi. Ano kayang media access ng respondents? Yeah, may question yung WVS about that. That's true. Sige, Nick. If it's accessible to you, then maybe you can play with it a bit. So review lang naman dito. So we talked about the importance of system justifying ideologies. We talked about active discursive strategies, you know, that tend to maintain inequality. You know? We talked about the roles of stereotyping, and then sa reading natin, there was a brief mention of self-interest. We talked about sense-making or construal, if you still remember, no, yung paper nila Stephens. That was actually what this was about. And yung relatively bago, yung structural dynamics na tinawag nila Krauss and Park. Although, I don't know, if you when you read Krauss and Park, I don't know if it sort of reminded you of the socio-cultural model of the self, no? Nila Stephens, yung mutual constitution ng self sa kanyang environment. Although compared to Stephens, sina Krauss and Park, lesser yung emphasis na binigay nila dun sa self. Kasi sina Stephens yung crucial eh. Kung naalala niyo, nasa gitna yung type of self that is developed parang as the mechanism that explains why there are differences. Pero ito yung interrelation ng individual ability sa structure. Okay, so these are some of the factors that yun nga, foster inequality. So why is it important to list these things down? Because as as researchers, if we're interested to test whether their hypotheses are true, so these are some variables that we can look into. If we're going to target intervention, if we're going to create interventions, design interventions, these are the factors that we can target na baguhin. Kasi ito nga yung nakita nila, at least sa West, pag pinag-usapan yung European American experience, ito yung mga factors na mahalaga. Okay? So, parang yan yung ating semestre so far. Then, I don't know if you had the chance, but I also gave you a copy of this, yung children's book na mga uring panlipunan. Were you able to browse through it? Or do we need to read it tonight in class? Okay naman, nasilip nyo ba siya? So, there's no need to review it? Okay, sige. So, nabasa niyo naman siya. Okay, thank you. Sige. So, let me go straight to... So, this is interesting for me because this is a children's book. And in case, you want to have a copy, available naman siya sa Lazada. And it's 150 pesos. So, yan. Pasensya na pinirate ko siya. But, for educational purposes. But if you want your own copy, maganda yung visuals, you can... it's available. True. Okay, so, I'd like us to devote time just to answer these two questions. But wait, so interesting read on Booth's theory of socioeconomic unfairness. Okay, sige. So we'll get to that. Or at least you access it now para you can park it for nighttime reading tonight. Thanks, Billy, for sharing. Although, would you like to give us a preview of what's going on here? And why you think this is something that we should read?
Sir, very, very short lang siya actually na narrative on...
Ay,
I don't know if nabasa na din nila.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very, very short narrative on the difference between the rich and the poor. Tapos ang kanya, so in terms of socioeconomic inequality, ang point na lang, gamit yung example ng Boots. For example daw, take Boots, for example, he earned $38 a month plus allowances. A really good pair of leather boots cost $50, but an affordable pair of boots, which were sort of okay for a season or two and then leak like hell when the cardboard gave out, cost about $10. Those were the kind of boots Vimes always bought and wore until the soles were so thin that he could tell where he was on a Morpok on a foggy night by the feel of the cobbles. But the thing was that the good boots lasted for years and years. A man who could afford $50 had a pair of boots that still be keeping his feet dry in next time, while the poor man who could only afford cheap boots would have spent $100 on boots in the same time and would still have wet feet. That's actually the Boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
On mobility.
Right. So mas konti dahil limited yung economic resources, hindi sila makakabili ng mga things that would last. So they end up spending as much as the upper class individuals with fewer economic resources at their disposal. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for that, Billy. Okay, so let's just let's go back to this one. So I have two questions for you. Do you think that children's books such as this one, yung mga uring panlipunan, can be effective interventions for disrupting socioeconomic inequality? And if it's effective for you, what messages from the book may be helpful? Or what do these messages target dun sa factors that we talked about? What do you think? So when you were, or if you want, you can also share what were your impressions when you were reading the book, and what were some of the things that were going through your mind while reading them? So baka, yeah. So you can answer. You can just share what's going through your mind, or what were some of the things that struck you after reading it, or you can go straight to to the questions that you see on your screen. So, importante nga ba na that we expose young children to books like this, no? And what do you think? Why would it be important or effective?
Sir?
Really?
Nasabi ko ata to sa last reading memo ko din, yung Rorty's perspective on education. Should we be bothering yung main question actually dun is, should we be bothering the young to the current social issues, or should we be teaching them the current rules and wait until they reach tertiary education to actually question this truth or to delve into social issues? Is it really ang main argument siguro ni Rorty doon when we were talking about the epistemology of knowledge and in education is, should the young be burdened to these realities, or should they first be exposed to current truth? Yung mga yung for example, kaya sinasabi na tertiary and kaya sinasabi na basic education, elementary, high school, wala dapat political education, wala dapat things like teaching the children about socioeconomic inequality, ganun, because this might be burden for them, well, quote unquote, syempre yun, and should we be bothering them with this? Siguro pumasok yun sa utak ko na binabasa ko, but given the current reality now, I think that it's equally important for the young to have at least an idea of the realities, because these are the truths that they are currently experiencing right now. And even if we don't teach it to them, they experience it. And by merely experiencing it, pag hindi natin tinuturo, baka mas lalong hindi natin nasusolve yung problem of socioeconomic inequality. Hindi natin madi-disrupt yun. Because they know it, they experience it, yet they don't have a name for it, or yet they don't really talk about it. Parang ganun, sir.
Thank you so much, Philly. Lalo na may mga pag-aaral nga sa West, no, na sa US na yung mga stereotypes, social class stereotypes, nagsisimula sila at a very early age. So I think it might be important at nabanggit yun sa isa sa mga readings natin tonight, diba? Na baka dapat habang bata pa, we sort of curb, no, yung mga belief systems that maintain inequality. How about the others? Were there any other insights that you gathered after reading the book? About, think would it be effective?
Hi, sir.
Hi, Anime.
Hello. Share ko lang din po yung nung una kong binasa yung book. First, hindi ako makapaniwalang children's book siya kasi parang ang lalim. Kasi yung pamangkin ko po, 1-year-old, parang sobrang hindi ganito yung mga children's book niya. Pero looking back sa sarili ko naman na childhood, yung mga pinapabasa din sa aming libro, sa bookshelf namin, yung mga batibot books, hindi ko po alam kung alam niyo yung Si Ingulo Katang Planetang Pakaskas, Ang Unang Baboy sa Langit, yung boy na kinain lahat ng stars. Parang looking back, first of all, very similar yung images na ginamit, na very colorful, very attractive for the kids. And second of all, yung topic itself, parang hindi rin mababaw eh. As a kid, parang may social issues din, may gluttony. So why not social inequality? So naisip ko, there's actually, parang maganda na from a young age, mamulat na yung mga bata. So yung tanong ni Velina, should the children be bothered? Feeling ko yes. Kasi if tinuturuan natin sila ng iba't ibang values, ba't hindi natin sila turuan maging mulat? 'Di ba? Tapos ang maganda po for me dun sa libro, walang na-glorify. Parang hindi pinakita na maging mayaman ka, maganda silang lahat. Tapos hindi rin naman pinakita. Parang feeling ko okay siya na representation. Very, real talk siya.
That's a good point, Anime. Thanks for bringing that up. Yung idea nga na, kasi ang ini-emphasize niya yung structure na may hierarchy more than what it's like. Although merong parts, pero ang ina-emphasize nga talaga niya yung hierarchy, kaya walang glorifying or deep na differentiation ng dalawang classes. Okay. Thank you for that, Anime. Sabi ni Adi, gusto niya i-tweak yung language a bit. Would you like to expound a little bit on that, Adi? Well, I think I would kind of agree with you. Pero sige, kasi direct translation ito di ba? From a Spanish book. So, why would you want to tweak the language kay Adi?
To make it more child-friendly lang po.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Para ma-absorb naman nila.
Oo.
Kasi masyado siyang Tagalog, masyadong formal yung lingwahe for a children's book.
Right.
So iniisip ko po kung children's book ito, mga anong age kaya ito?
That's a good question. Actually, I'm not so sure, but yeah, okay. But thanks for that.
Ayun.
Yeah.
Pero ayun po, kasi yung question ni Billy kanina, if we should bother the kids, parang ako, I wanted to ask him, would you want to bother your kid to learn about these things early on? Would we want to bother our kids to learn about this? Kasi my answer would be yes. So, ang iniisip ko rin po kasi if it starts at an early age, so if these particular issues would confront them, kasi at a later age, baka magkaroon na sila ng resistance kasi yung kinalakahan na nila ay rose-colored surroundings. So parang, totoo ba to? Kung ipamulat mo to sa kanila at a certain age, kunyari tertiary education ba, totoo ba to? Or, and naisip ko rin po kasi like ako, I came from a private high school, grade school to high school. So, tatlo lang kami from our batch na nag-UP. So, parang tatlo lang kami na binigyan ng ganitong kamulatan at that particular point in life. Pero, yung mga peers namin, hindi sila ganon. With the yung mga political issues, mga socio-economic issues, mga ganyang usapin, hindi ganon kahit lalim yung kanilang involvement. Even yung mga issues kahit nung sa ABS-CBN na very popular na parang lahat apektado. Yung marami sa mga kabatch ko na hindi ko inaasahang hindi maapektuhan ay talagang silang pake. Kasi hindi naman daw sila nanonood ng free TV. Mga ganon. So parang, yun. So naisip ko, siguro dapat maaga pa lang para na-inculcate na sa kanila as they grow up. Yung stereotypes, ma-reduce na kaagad. Ayun.
Thank you, Adi. Grabe na, nabanggitin sa reading natin yung how isolation from other social class groups can warp your sense of reality. That if it's not happening to you, then probably it's not happening to others. Villy, would you like to respond to Adi's question? Is it something that you want to burden your, let's assume you have a kid. Kunwari lang.
Yes, I would like to respond to that. Should I bother my kids, for example, to these social issues? And if my answer is no, it would be a denial of the realities that they are currently facing. So my answer would be definitely yes. But again, I'm speaking on the standpoint of how I understood the theory of Rorty and how it was explained to be the design of the current curriculum. So I'm not really defending it. So disclaimer, a big disclaimer. I'm just explaining it the way it's actually happening right now, or it was applied right now. Kasi ganun yung system of education na inadopt ng lahat, or well, mostly, right? Because in the Philippines, do the teachers really teach the children from grade 1 to grade 6 about socioeconomic inequality? Maybe some don't, diba? Lalo na pag science school ka, do these teachers say that there's socioeconomic inequality? They might be tagged, lalo na sa realities natin ngayon, they might be tagged as someone radicalizing the children. I'm not defending na dapat ganito yung system. What I'm saying is, and this is the argument of the other side. So, yeah. So to answer the question more formally, yes, of course, they should be bothered because it's the reality and their future realities if hindi natin sila binother right now.
Thanks, Philly. Although, to be fair, it didn't get across to me it didn't come across to me naman that you were defending the system. So, bago natin puntahan yung tanong ni Pao, we'll get to that shortly. So, ang we will end the discussion on that one just to give us an idea kasi that's an important question dahil it tells us how little we probably know or understand about the middle class. No? But just quickly to go over the other responses. Sabi ni Jenalyn, children are smarter than we think. I do agree. I think having them read these things are good to prep their critical thinking early on. Alam niyo, meron nga akong fantasy na when I got a copy of this book. So una, I immediately thought I wanted the class to read this. Then in second, I want to do a study where we will ask the kids ano yung mga impressions nila about social class and hierarchies and inequality using the guide questions in the end. Parang prompt natin tong book. So parang workshop style. So babasahin yung book sa mga bata. Tapos parang interviewin sila just to get a sense of not just comprehension but their own perceptions of reality. So parang pwedeng dalawang groups. No? Yung isang grupo na babasahan mo nito, tapos tatanungin sila, tapos yung isang grupo na walang ganitong prompt. And then you also ask them about social class and inequality and see if there are any differences. No? So I don't know if that's something that you want to do. Actually, ito seryoso to. Kasi tapos na kami so you don't have to answer now, but tapos na kasi kami magbigay ng subjects namin for grad school next sem. But in case, sa pagmumuni-muni ninyo in life, bago enrollment or during enrollment, and you sort of want to do a study, parang just to get your feet wet before you do your thesis, or let me know para I can offer Psych 299. Yung Psych 299 is research in psychology. So hindi siya klase like this, but it's more, so we're going to do the research there. So it can be actual research or it can be like a lit review or whatever. So we can discuss the outputs. But in case any one of you would be interested at, or maybe makabuo tayo ng 5 students in that class or kahit 3, let me know para I can ask the department to offer it. Okay? And then we can do, kasi dalawa na iniisip ko na pwedeng gawin. Yung isa, sorry, shinare ko na yung mga pantasya ko sa inyo kasi baka, hindi ko kasi ito kaya gawin on my own. So yung isa, kasi wala pang definitive text na literature review yung fields on social class. So, iniisip ko, if we have enough individuals, we can divide the work and come up with like that project to kind of map that out. No? Yung second would be, we can do something like this. No? And then yung third can be an experiment that they did that we can sort of replicate. So we can think about the possible projects. But let me know, you don't have to, you can think about it pag lumabas na yung classes next time. And if there's space still for you, then let me know, send me an email and we can talk about offering or getting that class. Okay, anyway, sige, yun lang naman. Thank you. Sabi ko yung aking mga fantasies. Okay, so sabi ni Riza, as a mom, I want my kid to face this early on. It can be crippling to her to live in a social bubble. Kasi yun nga, hindi natin alam. I'm not sure if there are any definitive studies nga in the Philippines na that kind of delve into social class experiences of children, diba? And that would be nice to kind of look into. Sabi ni Fatima, I think I would also agree to start them young on these issues. Magandang anchor and foundation in the future when they are confronted with the realities in our society. Yeah. Lalo pa na halimbawa, kasi nagsasegregate eh. Diba kasi yung sad reality ay there are very few good public schools in the Philippines. So maraming mga magulang na thinking nila, pag good school, kailangan private. So nagsasegregate na nga yung mga bata at such a young age. Pero ang question ko ba ay how will adults deal with the curiosities and magtanong sila about inequality? Paano po kaya yung framing na maintindihan nila na maayos? That's a good question. In fact, that's a good empirical question to ask how parents will deal with these things. Kasi it will give us an idea of the kinds of interventions we can make. No? Kasi yung so far, yung mga interventions na binubuo, school-based. No? Pero may mga programa din, may mga proyekto rin na ang tinatarget ay parents. So ibig sabihin, we could come up with, not we, but interventions can target parents and how they can, so parang mayroon silang manual na, kasi diba sa sex ed may ganyan how to talk to your kids about, menstruation and reproductive health and all these things. So for social class, we can also have something like that. Para may handles yung parents when talking about these things na hindi ka kasi yung danger ay mag-reinforce ka kapag hindi aware yung parents on how to deal with these things. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, binabang ka ni Adi na there should be interventions targeted to parents as well. Okay? Sige. So, just to wrap up this section, do you want to comment on Pau's question about the fear of the middle class toward lower class individuals? Okay? So, for me kasi, what that quote she posted aims to reflect ay yung precarity ng sitwasyon ng mga middle class individuals, that there is less sense of security, kaya there's always that want to move up and move up, kasi yung feeling mo na you're unstable, and also my sense is that the choice of words was para powerful siya at maganda yung image na natakot tanggalin sa pwesto, but I think the message there is that there's precarity there, that they can easily move down, if a life shock happens, and it's more difficult to move up, and then it's easier because of that sense of insecurity. It's so much easier for other people to take over, at some point. So that was the impression that I got. Yeah. Marupok daw ang middle class sa Pilipinas. Sorry, Billy, what do you mean by that?
Sir, mas vulnerable sila. Meaning, yun nga, one life shock, poor agad sila, parang ganan. So, yeah. Pero sir, merong variation ata to. Natatakot sila sa mayaman dahil natatakot ang middle class, ang panggit ng uri sa mayayaman dahil kaya silang patayin nito, at takot naman sila sa mahirap dahil ayaw nilang maging mahirap. I think that's one variation of it. I've heard it somewhere. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That was also my interpretation of that statement. Pero I think they used something a little bit more powerful image-wise. And that question that Pao posted again is very important because kagaya na bagit ko kanina, we don't know much. The studies that we've read dealt with yung differences sa extremes, pero yung gitna hindi natin sila masyadong kilala psychologically, and that can also be, we can also have another project, we can call it the middle class project. Kasi yung economics, meron silang ganyang project, who is the middle class? And maybe it might be time for psychologists to join the conversation and do like a profile of the middle class in the Philippines. So that can be also another project that you can work on. And the reason also why I'm hindi rin masagot ng econ. Actually, they use different number. I saw a paper once sa PIDS ata. Anyway, so the reason why I'm throwing all these questions to you is that in case, you're interested in this topic and you're thinking of doing a thesis or pursuing this in your other classes, please feel free to do so. If you need help, let me know and we can work on some of the things together. Okay? Sige. And with that, I'll just quickly go over this and let's do the activity for tonight. So what is the story that our 3 articles present? Actually, super dali lang nila if you put them all together. So bukod sa review siya of what we've talked about, it provided a non-essentialist and more holistic view of social class. Ano ibig sabihin? Ang ganda ng point ni Krauss, di ba, na pag essentialist kasi, I think I mentioned this already, na merong core property yung mga tao that affects who they are. So in this case, the essentialist view would be that yung social class mo defines who you are and it lies on the individual. Kung ano man yung, kung merong social inequality, ang tututukan mo yung self. Kasi nga, yung core property niya of being poor or rich, yun yung nagmamatter. Pero ang message ng 3 articles natin, we need a more holistic view of social class. And what does that mean? That we need to target, kung gagawa tayo ng interventions, we need to target individual, structural, and contextual sources of inequality. Of course, yung ideal, yung sinasabi nila Dittman and Stephens is that you try to target all 3 if you can. But of course, the reality of limited resources and human resource, usually pa isa-isa yung target. at binanggit din dun sa articles that we read, the limits of focusing solely on individual interventions, no? Kasi nga, we don't necessarily target the systems or structures that perpetuate inequality. Okay, so for me, yan yung storya nung tatlong articles natin if you put them all together. Okay, so now, meron pa ba kayong energy? Kaya nyo pa? Sige, so I was thinking maybe we can devote some time for this, a sort of a practice also for your activity next meeting. I was thinking that we'll do a little bit of a discussion. So from when I assign the work, it can also serve as a break, and then I will give you time to sort of discuss the matter. Okay? Okay lang ba kayo? I hope it's okay with you to do this discussion via Zoom. Okay, so what is the task? The task is I'm going to give you a short profile of pathways to higher education. So it's a 2-page profile, and I hope it's okay that I send it via Zoom. So I sent it sa chat. Oops. Shucks, sino kaya yung nawala? I sent it via chat. Let me know if you can access the file. Okay, so it's a 2-page profile of this program in Ateneo. I volunteered here nung nasa grad school ako, nag-service learning ako dito. And I also volunteered here for, I think, about a year. Sa Ateneo siya na program, it's called Pathways to Higher Education, and we've worked with them in PSSP for a time. And then, so it's super short. And then, based on what you've read, can you discuss as a pair these 3 things, okay? To determine what sources of inequality the program is trying to target. So we have 3, right? There's individual, structural, and construal, okay? And then next, if we're going to suggest to them that they assess their program and see if it works, no? What outcome variables would you suggest that they should measure to assess the effectiveness of their program? Okay, and then third, what suggestion do you have to ensure that the program effectively disrupts inequality? So in that regard, we're trying to ask, based on what we know at the moment, do you think these interventions are effective, no? And if not, no, how can we help them sort of improve? No, ano yung pwede pa nilang pagtuunan ng pansin? Okay. Do you have any questions about the task?
Sir, sorry na wala ko kanina.
Okay, yeah. Hi, you're back.
Yung read the short profile on pathways to higher education, sir, pwedeng pa-send ulit kung send naman.
Yeah, no problem. I will just send the questions again, and then I will send you the. Sorry, wait. Sorry, I lost the file. Okay, here we go. Okay, so ang gagawin natin, Okay, so do you have any questions with the task? So I sent you the screenshot of these questions that you're going to discuss, and then the profile. So I will distribute you. I will assign you into breakout rooms. So kayo mag-pair yung magkakasama, and then yeah, to just discuss the questions. Is that okay? So can I, if you don't have, yeah, so can we see if we can finish in 15 minutes? If you don't mind, yeah. Shucks, bakit nawala si? Are we all here? Okay, sige, i-reassign ko na lang si Vili sa breakout. Okay. Sige, anyway. Do you have any questions? Okay.
Dito po ako.
Sorry, gumawa kasi ako ng breakout room kanina. Tapos, hindi ko na ikaw makita. But anyway, I'll add you shortly. Sige, kung wala na kayong questions, I will open the rooms now. Okay? Sige. Are you there? Are you gone? Okay, wait, Vilya. Assign to... Oops. Bakit hindi kumasa? Mali. Move too far. Okay. Billy, can you hear me? Are you there? Okay. Adi, are you there?
Bumalik po ako sa main session.
Ay, sorry. How do I bring you back? Hello?
Hindi ko rin po sure.
Wait.
Breakout. Join ko na lang po room 4.
Can you join?
Join breakout room.
Oo. Sorry. Wait, naka-option. Ayan, okay. Adi? Okay. I think sina Adi and Riza. Adi and Riza, would you like to share with us kung ano man yung na-discuss ninyo?
Hello, sir.
Hi, Adi.
Liza, where are you?
Nandito ako, friend. Nandito ako, friend.
Hello, baby. Ayun po. For us, what sources of inequality the program is trying to target. So, tingin po namin mostly sa structures sila nag-focus kasi they were aiming at providing underprivileged, talented students access to education, to quality education that they would otherwise be unable to access. And they were also coordinating with other institutions and even the government or the structural sectors. Ayun po. We tried to check if they also tried to tap into the other sources of inequality, pero parang hindi kasi they focus on getting students na who are already talented. So meron lang individual characteristics,
Right.
and hindi naman sila masyadong nag-focus on sa construal part. Although sinabi, medyo minention lang na merong counseling. So Rice, number 2, sa'yo na.
So number 2 yung outcome variables that the program should measure to assess effectiveness. So just based on their goal na it's the structure, the article mentioned like the number of graduates that they have, yung naka-access to higher education, and then yung naging partners nila for the policies and expansion of their projects. So I guess that kind of ties into their goal as well.
So our suggestion to ensure that it effectively disrupts inequality. So since they focus mostly on the structures, so medyo massive nga yung naging kanilang campaign. Inisip namin maybe eventually they can tap into the other sources na rin of inequality. So parang hindi lang yung mga talented students or hindi lang yung mga selected students yung mabibigyan ng opportunities to access this education, this type of education, pero siguro matulungan din nila even yung mga hindi pa lumalabas yung individual characteristics to also be able to develop or mailabas yung kanilang mga potential when it comes dun sa individual na sources. And siguro, maybe they can also expand their counseling para dun sa construal na part makatulong din sila. So, para ma-motivate din yung mga ibang students. Hindi lang yung mga top 10 or yung mga top 5. Ayan po, sir.
Thank you, Adi and Riza. Interesting, no, na ang tinatarget na talaga nila yung mas may higher level of success. Pero mas kinoconnect lang nila dun sa universities para ma-ensure nga na they would continue on to college. Okay, sige. Thank you.
Ay,
Let's go to
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Hindi, nakalimutan ko po kasi i-mention. Parang naisip po kasi namin na by targeting only yung mga nag-top 10 na or yung mga parang it could also be a source of inequality din. Since ito lang mga top 10 na to or yung mga nagkaroon or siguro nagustuhan ng mga teachers or ni-recommend ng teachers or principals. So, inequality na rin yun since sila lang yung merong opportunity to be participants in this program.
Thanks for that. Sige, can we go to Fatima and Jenalyn, please? So, kung may mga na-cover na baka, we can just add dun sa mga bagay na hindi na-discuss ni na Adi and Riza.
Uy, Jen.
Hello.
No pressure.
Ako talaga.
Sige, go.
Sige, actually medyo pareho lang din kami with most of what they mentioned, yung kina-Adi. Siguro na-identify lang din namin yung mas in-identify lang namin yung ibang sources of inequality. So yung structural, yung lack of access to college admission. So yung ginawa ng Pathways is parang nag-provide sila ng yung information about scholarships, tapos parang mas nagkaroon sila ng assistance to the yung tawag na is lesser privileged students.
Advantage.
And yun. So, tapos yung trinay namin is hanap yung construal if meron. Pero yung parang nag-mention lang sila dun is about the counseling session. Pero parang hindi siya masyadong expounded. So, hindi natin masyadong alam kung ano yung laman ng counseling sessions na yun. Although yung remedials and tutorials na ginawa nila, we think parang mas siya for the skills and individual skills and capabilities ng students. Yung sa outcome variables naman na identify namin, to assess, yung one is siguro yung number of the students who graduated. Parang may sure kung talagang na-pursue ng student na with the support ng Pathways, kung natapos niya yung course niya. And then another is yung
employability.
Yan.
Parang gusto namin tingnan, sir, if those disadvantaged students na naka-avail ng program is para makita lang if yung may mobility ba, para may improvement ba doon sa original social status nila.
Very good. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yung suggestion, hindi namin na-discuss.
Hindi, okay lang. I think baka sina Anime and Mika pinressure. Parang sila ata umabot dun eh. Pero yeah, okay. Sige. Ay, sorry.
Parang na-discuss lang namin yung parang nakita kasi namin they reach out to other tribal groups. So parang magandang expansion yun ng project. So parang mas in-include nila yung mga siguro indigenous groups. So
inclusive.
Yes.
Kasi actually when I volunteered there, ang tina-target nila Metro Manila, mostly nga sa Marikina. Parang doon yung partnership nila. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Maybe we can go to Anime and Mika.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes. Okay.
Hi po.
Tama, di ba? Natapos yung number 3? Hindi.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes, sir. Okay, actually po, I think pare-parehas lang naman tayong lahat or parehas lang po kami dun sa mga sumagot sa number 1. So, sources of inequality, yun po, mas structural talaga sila nag-focus. Kasi yun nga, sa individual, meron na parang they pick students na meron ng individual skills. And construal, medyo natakol namin ni Anime yung, kasi it's not just scholarship, diba? Meron rin parang counseling sessions, yung program. So we were talking about whether kung parang nakatulong kaya yung counseling sessions na yun sa construal ng students and how they adjust to the program and the schools they went into. Pero yun, hindi siya masyadong na-detail. So yeah, same lang din, mas structural talaga yung naging focus.
And then for the second bullet on the outcome variables, na-discuss din namin ni Mika yung na-mention kanina na baka magandang tingnan kung ilang percent ba nung part ng program is nakatapos nung buong program. And then baka maganda rin na, or if it's possible, na tingnan yung social mobility. Parang magiging longitudinal study siya na going back to these graduates from these programs, kamusta na yung social standing nila some years later. And then last, going back to the thrust of the program, di ba sabi, aside from helping to lift the students and nurture them, the program also wants to lift the whole educational system. And one of the first things that the article mentioned is yung percentage ng grade in the national average test scores. So if gusto makita if nag-lift ba talaga, so we can literally compare if tumaas nga ba yung scores from this test. Though hindi masyadong clear sa akin kung anong test to. National average test score. Kasi ba wala na yung mga, dati meron yung mga national channeling test. Ngayon wala na, diba sir? So, I'm not sure.
Yeah. At least, ang minimeasure ngayon, yung kino-compare tayo, yung bumagsak tayo, there was a press release on that day. I forget the test. On reading and science. Parang yun. Anyway.
Yes.
Sige.
Yeah, and then sa last, yung last, kind of similar din po sa mga sumagot na. So yun, given nga na ang na-target lang na inequality, source of inequality was the structural. Maganda rin na i-ensure na parang mas holistic or yung integration ng individual, structural, and construal yung maging target ng program. But then yung another point of discussion namin ni Anami is yung parang question dun sa structural intervention nga na yes, well, the program does provide skills and knowledge and parang they cover the resources for the students. Diba? Parang nakafocus lang kasi yung program dun sa mismong scholars nila. But then, it doesn't, parang wala siyang nagawa. Kasi diba when you say disrupting inequality, parang it's such a big, endeavor. So parang, we were talking about, paano yung, kunyari, if those scholars, kunyari, nag-aral sila sa Ateneo, diba? Nakapasok sila sa Ateneo through scholarship. And okay, sige, parang you address their studies, you address their tuition, pero paano yung structural level na, parang in a way, parang mas systemic level, parang in a bigger scale. Diba? Parang okay, sige, parang tutulong mo sa studies yung students na yun, parang kung 50 man sila or 100 in the school, but in the bigger scale of the school, diba, parang kung hindi mo papalitan yung kunyari policies sa teachers or sa professors on I guess assigning kunyari parang mga projects na I think this was mentioned in one reading na parang professors should be sensitive to that na parang hindi sila mag-a-assign ng projects na hindi endemic, diba, parang na hindi prevalent sa resources ng mga bata na yun, parang from lower social classes. So, may mga ganun ding tanong. Yan po.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to add, Anime? Okay na?
Okay na po. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Sige. Punta tayo kina Villy and Jessa.
Good evening po. Yun. So, kami po ni Villy, ang tingin naman po namin sa first is that it was able to target all of the sources of inequality. Kasi individual in terms of academic programs and skills. Kasi I actually had a classmate before who's from Pathways. So aside from, it's not just tutoring kasi, before you enter, high school pa lang sila, before they enter the college actually, meron na silang parang training, parang confidence building on the person, paano sila mag-fit in dun sa college that they chose. So So that's also important kasi syempre part na doon yung tutoring and stuff. And then structural, yun nga, sabi nga nila ng mga classmates, is also because of the scholarship and the linking. Pero it was not mentioned in the in the handout, but the pathways also provide like a training or a counseling session for the parents of their pathways. I'm not sure if that's scholar yung right term, pero yun, so pati yung social factor ng mga students, social support ng students is not a target din. And yun nga, construal, because it gives you the ability and capability na from a high school identity, you introduce these people to a college identity. And also, I think pag-graduate na sila, yun namang workplace, meron din silang parang, hindi naman, I'm not sure kung gaano kalalim kasi hindi rin naman ako talaga taga-pathways, is that pinapakilala rin nila yung recruitment process to these students, paano pag pumasok na sila sa organization. So feeling ko kasi from one identity to another, may transition silang tinutulong. So yun po, kaya feeling namin ni Vili nasagot yung tatlo. Yun, tapos si Vili pa yung sa next.
Regarding naman po sa outcome variables that the program should assess in order to measure the effectiveness, napag-usapan po namin ni Ma'am Jessa na number of students who graduated and found work. So hindi lang number of students who graduated but also those who found work. Yun po yung first level in a period of 6 months after graduation. And apart from that, you would also like to measure how they would define their situation as a stable life in a period of 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. So that's another way to assess the effectiveness of the program. Were they able to make the life of the participants or the clients of that program stable? So very subjective measure lang siya. And this is in a form of a longitudinal tracer study na nasabi rin kanina. In a period of 5 years naman, they go and ask whether they were able, the recipients of this program were able to achieve the quality of life that they envision or the magandang buhay for them, were they able to achieve it after 5 years after the program. Yan po. Sa third naman, Miss Jessa.
Yun po. So sa third, ang naisip naman po namin ni Vili is that nasagot na nila yung like academic life ng students. So paano yung transition niya to employment? Kasi life doesn't end naman po pagka-graduate natin. That's why we also considered yung employment factor. Sana may employment program rin like partnership with corporations rin na parang these scholars would get into this work or parang if they have specific interests. Yun po.
And also return of service, they sign a return of service type kung saan these recipients of the program could actually give back to the community that they were before in order to disrupt inequality there. And
yun. So lastly po, ang naisip namin ni Vili is that we would like sana the program to have a program that's not targeting top students or performing students. Actually, ang pinag-uusapan pa namin nito is nasa bottom students. Yung talagang, alam mo yun, parang sinukuan na ng lahat. Parang we thought kasi po na those who have, talagang sila yung nasa babay less, they should be the one who we should help more or who deserves to help more. Pero kasi yun nga po, usually we target, and a lot of programs target top students na. So kung hindi naman po bottom na bottom, at least yung mga nasa middle, parang almost there, pero hindi lang talaga sila nasa top. And yun po, ang suggestion nga rin po ni Vili is that we could start at grade school para lang yung mga basic skills pa lang. And then also show them that hindi porket hindi ka kasing talino ng mga iba mong classmates doesn't mean that you don't deserve it or parang para ma-build up rin po yung confidence na siguro hindi nga ako kasing talino nila pero doesn't mean that I can't also perform. Para pong ganun yung idea namin. Yun lang.
Thank you. Actually, just interesting yun kasi parang very rare nga yung mga assessment measures on the construal aspect. Kung nagbago yung tingin nila sa sarili nila, pati sa sitwasyon nila before they started and yun nga, pagkatapos ng programa and eventually when they stepped into college, you know, kasi yun yung pwedeng, yung binabanggit ni Jessa, yun yung isang construal assessment pwede gawin yung mga sinukuan. Kung tingin ba nila na mas pag-asa na at mas fit na sila to pursue higher education compared to before entering the program. Okay. And also, siguro just a quick side note sa binanggit ni Vili about like a return of service kasi meron silang parang implicit na ganun dahil yung mga pumasa ng college na pathways, bumabalik sila dun sa, parang they give back pathways at like, parang meron silang construal component na they talk about their experiences to the high school students who are part of the program and what helped them, etc. So may parang ganung big sibling approach to as a return of service. Okay, sige. Finally, si Nick and Pao.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
My classmates. Actually, nasabi na nila lahat.
Okay.
Hindi,
Additional.
Pero anyway, dun sa number 1, napag-usapan nga namin ni Nick na yung mga sources of inequality. Parang ang una ko kasing naisip dito personally is, narelate ko siya dun sa article nila Titman and Stevens, yung sinasabi nilang social class achievement gap. So parang sa tingin naman namin ni Nick is na-address naman nila lahat yon. However, iniisip rin namin na bakit ganon, nakafocus nga sila dun sa mga talented na low-income students. Pero ayun, nasagot na ni Jessa kanina. And then, ayan, Nick, number 2 and 3.
Yung ano rin, actually, yung bigla. And siguro idagdag na rin sa outcome variables, hindi ko siya na-mention din sa iba. Siguro din yung subjective experience in terms of yung actual situation nung yung mga students na nasa pathways in terms of, kunwari, during their college experience, kung kamusta naman sila sa, kung saan sila naninirahan or kamusta yung allowance nila for, daily, or daily needs na kailangan nilang tugunan. So, yun parang more of the subjective experience then. And then, what suggestion do you have to ensure that the programs effectively disrupts inequality? Pao?
Ayun. So, actually, iniisip din namin ni Nick kanina na yung mga batang nakapasok sa universities, kung may culture shock pa silang nararanasan kasi parang syempre we can expect na, especially kung sa Ateneo sila napalo and they came from low-income household, so parang sobrang hirap mag-adjust. So, iniisip namin kung na-address ba yun nung pathways. And at the same time, katulad ng sinabi ni Billy kanina, yung regarding dun sa return of service, parang isa rin siya sa mga ways na naisip namin ni Nick para it can disrupt inequality after nilang makagraduate ganyan. Thank you. May add ka pa, Nick?
Yun na rin yun.
Thank you sa inyo. Yung interesting for me na nakita kong common across the pairs ay yung idea na hindi sila bibitawan. Parang kasi ang daming mga programs ka na very one shot. Yung after you finish it and then, na-thrust ka na into, kumbaga gumraduate ka na, so bibitawan ka na. Pero ang sinasabi nyo nga is that they have to ensure that every step of the way, hindi sila magre-regress or hindi sila bibitaw or that they will actually become successful in the different milestones in their development. So one of the reasons why I showed it to you, it's not a perfect program. And I think we have yet to see whether there are major shifts that the program is able to deliver. Pero yung isang dahilan kung bakit ko yan pinresent kasi I also wanted to emphasize that yung isang pwedeng role natin as psychologists, as researchers, ay hindi naman necessarily to create interventions from scratch. There are a lot of interventions already available and yun nga, Pathways is one of them. And yung isang need nila, I feel, ay mas sa pag-assess ng effectiveness ng mga programa nila. So, kaya I think it's very important for us dahil ang training natin ay pag-iisip nung, okay, ito yung goal, ano kaya yung way to assess the effectiveness of the program. No? Yun yung pwede natin pagtuunan ng pansin. Kasi mas mahirap yung, to start from scratch kasi action yung kailangan mo dyan, you need a lot of funding. Ito, marami nang in place. But what they really need is for them to be able to show that it's working. And hopefully ma-realize natin it's really hard to parang sa totoo lang when I was parang reviewing and preparing for this Tapos kasi they were emphasizing on a lot of structural factors na yung, kasi di ba yung psych nga, ang hilig natin na mas individualistic, ganyan. Tapos medyo mahina yung focus on the more structural components. Kaya isip ko, ano bang role ng psychology sa pag-disrupt ng inequality? Parang yung ginagawa natin mas maraming individualistic approaches, diba? Yung mga leadership training, counseling, ganyan. So I was wondering how we can be more proactive and effective doon naman sa mas, bridging the individual sa structural and all these things. No? Kasi feeling construal, feeling ko kaya pa natin yun eh. Pero yung sa structural interventions, parang yun yung challenge. Okay. Anything else? Any other thoughts you'd like to share before we close our session tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, please, Willie.
Napaisip lang din ako, do psychologists, particularly social psychologists, tend to shy away to this structural conditions that they could change and just focus on individual aspects? Do they shy away from studying ba dapat yung term, or responding to the structural conditions, or and focus more on individual aspect? That's what I think I got from the last one. Sorry if I'm wrong.
I think hindi naman talaga siya shying away, but it's really by training. I think that has been the emphasis dun sa training natin. Tapos meron tayong notion usually na yung mas structural elements. May ibang social sciences that would kind of deal with that. You have sociology for that, you have political science for that. And yun nga eh, parang dahil may limitation yung skill set at yung pinagtutuon natin ng pansin, it might be good to kind of partner talaga and be more collaborative para yung blind spots natin may ibang makaka-address.
So I think important point yun kasi sa Psych 206 pinag-uusapan namin yung bolder view, yung scientist practitioner, and may bago ngayon scientist practitioner advocate. I think the advocate would actually deal with the structural one.
Right. Kaya yun din yung gusto kong message din dito. Kasi, when we read these things, parang ang hirap isipin, where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I contribute? But the thing is, there are a lot of advocates out there. There are a lot of programs already in place. And yun nga, yung task natin is to kind of help improve based on what we know. Kesa, magsisimula tayo sa simula. Although, of course, there's nothing stopping us. It's just that, yun nga, parang hindi nakaka-discourage, parang hirap naman, paano ba saan ako magsisimula? Pero yun, so we can connect and look for programs that are existing already and how we can improve them. Sabi ni Adi, maybe we can educate or train those who are making interventions so they have the same awareness of the need to address all three sources of inequality. I do agree. We can do that, no? Pag gusto talaga natin mas programmatic. Yung isa, dahil nga nag-aaral din tayo ng, I think, developmental psych din na area sa inyo. I'm not sure if I remember correctly. Pero yun nga yung halimbawa, yung effectiveness ng children's books, for instance, or yung how do, stories like what you read affect, how children view their world. So that could be one. Sabi ni Anna, may also baka may sariling structural problems as social psychologists para makagawa ng structural interventions. Kasi yun nga, kung titignan ninyo, hindi ko alam kung ilan sa inyo yung social psych dito, pero kung titignan ninyo yung focus ng social psych, kaya ang taas ng emphasis sa construal, kasi ang laki ng role ng social cognition. Ang foundation kasi ng social psychology is that yung reality ay hindi yun yung nakaka-affect ng kilos ng mga tao o yung responses natin, pero yung how we make sense of the world. Yung ganun siya, parang interpretation yung nagmamatter. Kaya yung tina-target din ay beliefs, attitudes, sense-making, kasi yan yung ina-assume na foundational na nakaka-influence ng psychology ng mga tao. Sabi ni Nick, naalala ko sa social psych class is really the power of the situation. Yeah. Yun nga, the situation and the structures are difficult to change, but it's the people who make these structures. So kung hindi mo mababago yung structure itself, you kind of intervention mo yung paano mababaguhin yung mga tao that make up these structures. ito ako sa maraming structural problems. Actually, true. Marami talagang structural problems ang social psych. Actually, yung isa nga na main problem natin, hindi ko alam kung nag-2A2 na kayo, but yung isa sa kinakaharap talaga ay yung replication crisis. A lot of the things that we know in social psychology are actually crumbling because apparently they can't be replicated, they don't work in other situations, flawed, yung how they were construed in the first place. So, yun. Okay? Anything else that you'd like to add or share? Yeah, so hopefully, the session tonight really is not to come up with new interventions, because that will be so difficult. We can't even begin to do that in a semester, but really just to see, identify factors that maintain inequality, and then try to target as much as we can these factors, or at the very least, to see, based on what we know, to be able to assess interventions that already exist. Okay? Sige. So before I let you go, I'd just like to quickly remind you of your task, and our activity next week. Meron ba kayong questions dun sa gagawin ninyo next meeting? Malinaw ba siya? So again, yung pairs, ito yung pairs. Tapos you're assigned particular topics. Lahat naman to nabasa na natin. And it really is about, so ano yung task? It should be able to, you should be able to demonstrate your ability to assess the theory and then think beyond. Mas coming up siya with so it's an assessment of a theory and then coming up with research directions. Ito yung sinusubukan gawin dito para meron kayong, pag naubusan na kayo ng research topic in the future, you can fall back on something. Kasi meron kayong isang reading na naging master or expert kayo. Actually, yun yung point. Meron ba kayong questions dun sa task? So around 10 minutes yan. Tapos next meeting, I will assign kung sino yung pair na who will do the comments. So kumbaga may critique, tas ako rin I will input based on your presentations. Okay? Medyo baka mahaba lang yung class, baka an hour and a half siguro. Kasi baka at least 20 minutes per pair, including discussion and throwing of ideas. Okay, so this is in your this is in Ovlet naman. Okay. Yan. So note lang din na ERGA will come from me and also yung peer evaluation. So ito naman yung peer evaluation. Din. Okay. Parang mali yung date ko dito. No? This is next week, December 10. Do you have any questions about the task? Tama pala, December 10. Okay. Meron ba kayong questions about this one? Sige, just in case meron kayong maisip, you can just email me and I will do my best to respond to you. And siguro, before we end, let me just read itong sinulat ni Mika sa chat box na nadama niya yung individual versus structural na problem, especially coming from clinical psych. Pinakamahirap po ako kumausap sa mga clients na structural yung problema. As in, I can imagine the dilemma, no, na alam mo na we can only do so much on our end. But important nonetheless, important work nonetheless. So please don't think because it's not targeting all the sources of inequality that it's not important, because especially during this time natin yung role ng clinical psychologists, diba? Jeepney drivers na wala ng trabaho because of the pandemic, having day-to-day anxiety. I remember one of our readings sa social justice therapy na even if we teach low-income clients mindfulness, it's like we're getting them used to the situation of poverty. So that's actually true. So we need to work hand in hand. So yung clinical kaya ito yung mga magandang projects in the future. I don't know if there's an opportunity. Hopefully magawa to ng department or some students na partnership talaga siya eh. So yung while clinical psychologists are addressing itong mga immediate experiences that have long-term effects. Kasi yung trauma of the situation, di ba, may lingering effects yan. Yung ibang areas like social psych and maybe IO, dev, personality can also find ways to kind of work with clinicians in addressing just individual, structural, and then the construal sources. Okay. Any other thoughts or questions? Are you okay? Sorry. Pagod na ba kayo? Sorry. Humaba na yung class natin. Okay.
Sir?
Yes?
Sorry. Nabasa ko dito, sir, sa guidelines na we can choose na recorded yung aming presentation. But should it be video recording as in kasama yung mukha namin?
Hindi. Ano lang yun? Just parang safety lang ba? Kung halimbawa, you're not very confident about your connection, you can send it to me para I can play it. Ganun. No, hindi naman kailangan yung face. Ang kailangan yung slides. Yung content ng slides.
Okay, sir. Noted po. Thank you.
Hindi siya parang vlog. hindi siya production. It's the record. What I meant by recording is that if you're not confident nga that you can present live, so para makaka-present pa din, so may recording na backup. Kumbaga pwede siya backup. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Are we good? Sige, kung wala na tayong questions, again, you can email me anytime. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and for going through the activity. I know it's not very easy using this format, but thank you so much. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you all next week. I hope.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everybody. Good luck. I look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye po.
Bye.